Hello and welcome to the sort of solution for Objective 12 of the 2021 Holiday Hack Challenge. I will explain the sort of part when we get there. Just a couple things to the previous video. I realized why some of the filters, or actually one filter, didn't work, and apparently you need to put in, when you use the contains operator, the term that you're looking for in quotes. This depends on the Bioshock version, and all of a sudden I didn't realize that that was the thing that is missing. And also I checked the evil bit 1. Apparently the pun there was that all the troll systems have the evil bit set, so if you filter for the packages that do not have the evil bit set, you will see the humans activity, and the person's complaint does not have this bit set. So it's a way of filtering and sort of finding the room number, and then you can find the names of the free trolls. But anyways, this is not the video about Objective 11. We're already done that, so check out the previous video if you haven't done it yet. And right now we're dealing with Objective 12. We only have 2 objectives left to finish up the game, so let's see it. And just like before, we're going to start with the terminal challenge. This one is the elf code terminal, and we need to complete 8 fairly easy levels. Then there's a bonus one which I will not include in this video. I haven't done it yet. I'm probably going to add that one later to the list because I also need to record another objective, and I also would like to create a video for the Log4j or Log4j challenges as well. So looking at the game console here for the objective, you can see that this is one of the tougher ones again. Just like the curb roasting one, this maxing out the difficulty level with 5 Christmas trees, and it says investigate Frost Tower's website for security issues. There's the link for the application, and they provide the source code, so you know that you're in for quite some trouble if they even hand you over the source code. This will be useful in your analysis. In Jack Frost's to-do list, what job position does Jack plan to offer Santa? Rib Beaufort in Santa's dining room may have some pointers for you. So we're going to visit that elf in the dining room, and first talk to the elf. And this sort of like arcade machine is the elf code system, a terminal for this objective. Let's talk to the elf. Hello, I'm Rib Beaufort. Nice to meet you. I use programming. It's a handy skill for anyone in cybersecurity. I do agree, and I have to caveat this challenge and the next one. I am not very good at programming. I can get simple scripts to work. I can do simple things, but I'm not any stretch of the imagination a programmer. This here machine lets you control elf using Python free. Okay. Tell you what, if you help me get past level 8, I share some of the SQL injection tips with you. After we complete this challenge, we're gonna have some crucial hints for the challenge itself. I think without them you won't be able even to really figure it out, or it will get even harder than it already is. So in this challenge, we just need to control a little figure with Python code. Most of the information is provided in the game. Not sure what level requires. Click on the current level, objectives panel. This will be all explained on the interface. You can move the little elf with these commands, and looping through movements. You can do move up 99 or whatever, elf to stop at any obstacle. You can call functions like my function. We need to pass function to Munchkin. Munchkin is a character in the game, and they also have I think challenges for you that you need to solve, and if you solve them they become friendly and they will let you pass through them. So this is really a sort of like programming game where you can learn how to program. There are very similar ones, like I think Sketch is something like this, where you just move a little figure inside the game using Python. Oh, actually, let me just first look at the hints that were provided. So you get a couple of these. There are also levers that you can pull to deactivate traps. Certain levels will require to do that. Then you can move around the elf with these functions. There's a library that you need to import, and afterwards you can interact with the objects inside the game. And you can bump into walls. You will see that sometimes this is very beneficial because you will be limited by the number of lines that you can use in your code. Then there's an explanation on function calls and passing on a function to a munchkin. That's just for the bonus level, which I haven't looked at yet, so it's not going to be important for us. Let's get started. So this is the elf code Python edition, and inspired by PyWars. So I suspect that this was developed by maybe Mark Baggett. This is just a guess. I'm not sure if it is. When the end credits roll, we'll check out the names. So we have here the explanation of what you're supposed to do, and you also have here additional resources listed out here for a basic Python tutorial on Codecademy, and it's probably something, I don't really know the site, but I guess that you will learn how to code by writing code. Actually, there's some explanation on the various elements of the language, Python for beginners. All right, let's click to begin, and level 0 is just showing you the ropes and how to work with the game. So here the objective is just click on the run button and you will see the little elf figure. There's a long explanation here. I don't want to spend too much time, but it describes the elements of the game, so how to play the elf code. You will need to control this very happy little character across the map, and as you can see, we have the munchkins here. We have these traps. There's a lever that you can pull, and you need to collect lollipops, of course. And the end goal is to collect all the lollipops, and then you need to get to the green circle at the castle entrance or something like that. It's the entrance. You need to collect lollipops. There's also these jitter spring traps as well, not just the pits. And then you have various obstacles. There's the explanation of levers. So munchkins and levers, they will give you a challenge that you need to solve, and once you solve the challenge, you pull the lever that way or pass the munchkin. That's it. Right, I think we are fine with this. And there's an example code. So this is what I was mentioning earlier here, that you have the different objects. So you have usually this part of the code already populated for you. You have elf, munchkins, levers, lollipops, jitters, and pits. And you can use these objects to navigate the elf. Probably this is the easiest way to write the code here. If you want to move your elf to a given object, then you can just get all the objects. So you do levels and get, and this will return, I think, a list. And if I remember correctly, and you will be able to then select the one that you're interested in. And then with the dot position, you will be able to tell the little elf where it should move. And then you need to, let me see how that works. I think you need to click here, and then you have the objectives that if you complete. So here you need to multiply a value given by the lever. So you call lever data, calculate the value, and then when you want to pull it, you need to pass on the calculated value. Sometimes it's more difficult than just an arithmetic operation. Let's see if the munchkin does something more interesting. So here's an example. You get this list, and you only have to return the numbers, and you need to pass it back to the munchkin. So they need to ask you a question. You get the question with the the data that you need to do the manipulation with the ask, and then pass it back with an answer. Again, if you took the SANS Python coding class, which is an amazing class and gets you from 0 to hero within 6 days, it's absolutely great. I'm not trying to like upsell anything. I don't have any affiliation or interest, but I think it's a really cool way to quickly get up to speed and be able to write simple scripts. And this is the same thing as PyWars there in class, where you learn how to write code by writing very, very simple Python codes. Well, at the beginning, and then as the class progresses, it gets even more difficult, and you will be able to write fairly complex scripts. So this is the same idea here. You need to beat the challenges in order to go through the different levels, get to the different levels. And here in the code, we are pulling the lever, moving the elf, or moving it so you can also move left, up, down, or right. And the number of cells that you want to move, you pass it on in the function as the argument. And then you can move upwards. You deal with the munchkin, solve the challenge. You check for, in this case, if the type is integer for the element, because you need to return here numbers. And then once you're able to move through it, then you move through the munchkin. That's it. So let's run this, and you can see the elf moving. So you need to pull this lever to be able to pass through the pit, answer the munchkin. And as you can see, you don't need to stop to do the answer and the calculation. You just have to be in the nearby cells to pull level or answer the question of the munchkin. Let's click on the sign, and this is the first level. Let me just get my notes, because I'm not going to write the code here. That would take way too much time, and it's really not necessary. So instead, what we're going to do is I'm just going to paste in the code, do a little explanation on what I'm doing, and then run the code. That's it. So level 1, you can probably imagine that it's going to be fairly easy. That's it. So just moving the elf, and the first thing is already given to you. If you count the number of cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you're just shy of 1. You can move there. I said I'm not going to write the code, but this one is elf move up. Well, we can count the number of cells as well, but I can also just do 99. I think this is also 1, 2. So this is also 10, so this should work. And all we need to do is just pick up the lollipop. There's no objective, you just go there. Or you can also do, lollipop position, but in order to do that, you first need to get the lollipop. So I think this is the shortest code possible. And as you can see, there are requirements here. You need to solve this one in no more than 8 lines of code and all 6 object function calls. Let's run this code. Picked up the lollipops. And we're completed the level. Level 2. Move to King. I'm not sure I'm getting this one. Anyways, so the objective here is to use the elf again to navigate through the obstacles. And we get all the lollipops. Alright. All together we have 2 of them. The lollipop 1 is over here, so you see the index number for the lollipop represented here with numbers. We're going to move there for lollipop 1 position, and then I believe we also need to move to lollipop 0 position. And after that, we still need to get through the exit. So the code that I added to this one, and it says no more than 10 lines. Hopefully it will disregard the comments. I think when I paste the entirety of the code, it might be a little bit buggy and I might have to remove comments, but normally this should be good. And yeah, we don't need this one though. Should be good. It's not exactly the like this. It's exactly the solution that I had. So let's see if this one runs. Picking up the first lollipop. We already got a position here, and then okay, upwards. Too many lines of code used. Okay, so I think it does not like the fact that I have the comments here. If I clean it up like this, does it work? Kind of ridiculous. But it's a philosophical thing, I guess. What is a line of code? Is a comment a line of code? This is a real software engineering problem, and there's a real debate on whether you should count comments as a line of code. I would argue yes, if it's not just code that is sitting there behind the commented lines, then or even in that case, if it's something meaningful and you leave it there in case you want to troubleshoot something or debug something, it's useful code, and good comments are also useful. So I mean, I can understand that, but here they don't really represent anything. It's just there for helping you out. Anyways, so I will try to pay attention and make sure that we have the solution within the number of lines. So don't get cheated. Here we need to deal with this spring here and pull the lever before we get to the lollipop. And we are given with the levers position, object, and the lollipop object here. So we need to understand what the lever objective does. And I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing the word lever correctly. It's for me it's a very difficult word to pronounce. So lever is asking us to add 2 to the returned integer value. We do level 0 data, and then you can pull it once you calculate the sum. So that's the objective. We need to solve that part. Just paste in the code, for this one, and do the explanation. So what we're doing here, the 3 lines of code is the same as before, as you can see, where I'm just moving the elf to the position of the lever, and then get the data, add 2 to this one, and then pull it. Actually, you don't really need to create a variable here. You can just I'm gonna optimize the code. And you can just pass it on like this. You move to the lollipop position, and then it's a straight line to the finish. Alright, pulling it. Alrighty. Managed to get in there. So that's it. And if you have multiple levers, or just here, I think there might be a munchkin later. Probably here, no, but you might have multiple of these objects with different objectives. This is level 4, and yeah, so that's the example for this one. We have 5 levels here, and they all have different objectives. Here we need to submit any dictionary object, any list object, any int, any boolean, and any string. So this is more of just demonstrating the different types available in Python, the basic types. And I just added a few lines where it says need more code below. You see, so this is within 18 lines. Yay! And I am using the objects available here for all the levels, and we just passing on these various types that were requested. So let me see. There's a level the fifth one, which requires a string, and then we had to for the level 3 object, pass on a boolean, then a real number towards the. There was no integer. It's interesting. Let's check out. Then a float. Okay. Oh, int or float. Okay, I could have done it easily. I don't know why I chose a float number here, but it's fine. We're just passing on these, pulling the levers, and then getting to the finish line. Really, really easy. And most of these are fairly easy. I think the only mildly challenging one is going to be the last one. Try to find this. Is this stuff here? Okay, yeah. Fifth one. So this one is doing various operations on these. With this, for example, level 0 is going to return a dictionary object, add a key and a value pair to dictionary. And this is the one on top, so the lower one. Return a string, and you need to concatenate it together with the word concatenate. What else? You need to invert the boolean value that you get, and so on and so forth. And just copy the solution in, explain it a little, but leave everything here up to the point where we have. Yeah, don't forget to move to the castle entrance. I think for the previous one, I totally forgot to do that last part. There's one extra step here that you need to instruct your elf to move upwards. Let's see, we had level 4 with the concatenation. Level 3 was, by the end of this video, I'm gonna be someone who can perfectly pronounce lever. Probably not. So what was the first one again? So yeah, this was inversing the boolean, so we just not at the data that we got. And let's here for this level 2 one, we just need to add 1, so pretty easy. But we're passing back to pull the lever. We need to append here to the list apparently. Which one is this first? Okay, appending, and level 0 is adding to the dictionary, I guess then. Yeah, so we just need to add this value to the dictionary. All right, let's run it. Pull. All right, awesome. 6th level is about types. Copy the code and move a bit faster here. So just one single lever here that we need to pull, and I wonder if you can just get around like this. Probably not. Anyways, solving this is not that difficult. So when you call it, it will do a boolean, number, list of integer, string, a dictionary with an A in it and an integer for you. For boolean, return the inverse. For number, return double number. So you need to determine what was sent to you first, and then perform some operation on it. And don't forget to move your elf. Yeah, we don't really need these here. I'm not really sure. I think this was maybe the original code had this one in. Yeah, I think I just left it there in my solution for some reason. I'm gonna delete this one. So here it's just about if and else, and using the type function here to determine the type of it, and then perform the whatever operation is needed. I have here. Oh, okay. There's a weird line break here. The only twist I did, because and this is kind of weird for me. So which one is it for a list? Okay, so this was kind of surprising for me because this is, I think, a beginner-friendly challenge. And it says where's the list one? Number 4. List of integers, return that list with each integer incremented by 1. And the best way and the most Pythonic way to do this is with list comprehension. But the next challenge will be about loops. So if you don't get loops at this point, then you certainly don't know list comprehension. And with a single line, that's the way to solve this in Python. I don't know, maybe in the provided hints material they had this one. Anyways, so adding one number with a list comprehension is probably the easiest way to get this one done, and the rest is fairly easy. So nothing special in there. If it's a boolean, you negate it, integer and you multiply it. Mentioned the list comprehension part. Is this a square bracket? Looks like a square bracket. And then for a string, you can concatenate it with itself apparently, and then you add 1 to the dictionary with the key A. So you increment the value of that key, and that's it. Afterwards, we just move to the appropriate positions and solve the challenge. That's it. Boom. All right. And now this is an objective where you can use a loop. I might have to sneeze. All right, it's gone. So here you already have the loop created for you, and the restriction here is the number of lines here really. So instead of repeating the code to move the elf around, you can just use a loop. And one thing that you can realize is that if you do something like this, first you need to move the elf to the left, and once the elf bumps into an obstacle, it will just stop there. So moving it pre-positions, even though we have an obstacle here, is no problem at all. We're going to move the elf here, then we're going to move it up, and this is 11. Now I just realized that there's some legend here on the side. So 11 cells up, then we move it again to the left, and then 11 cells down. At this point, at the first iteration of our loop, we're going to be here. Here we have 2 iterations on the loop with the range 2. So from here, we are going to get to this point here, if I'm not mistaken. Right, so moves left, moves up, down. Yeah, so we would be here. And what you need to do is just increment this number by 1. That's the only thing that I'm missing. Just checking if I'm right. Well, let's find it out. So at this point, you would be here, and you could repeat the same loop one more time just to get up here. And it doesn't matter that afterwards you need to move left and down again, because you will be already in the final position to get through the castle gate. So this is the thing that puzzled me a little bit. Why do we talk about loops here when in the previous challenge either you use a loop or list comprehension? At least this is what comes into my mind. I might be wrong, so use the comment section and tell me why I'm wrong with this. But let's move on to level 8, and once we solve this one, we will finally be able to get those hints. Let's check out this one, and this is going to be a tricky one, so we need to navigate past the obstacles, avoid the munchkin, and get to the entrance. So here we also have a munchkin, and I did a quick and dirty code for this one. I'm not sure if it will work all the time, but it completes, at least after like 2 runs, I was able to solve the challenges. So what we need to do, and we get to decide what we want to do here, because I think if we pull the lever, it's going to open up the pit, and I guess the munchkin falls in there. I haven't tried that one. I want to be a nice person here, and instead I will approach the Munchkin and answer the question and be friends with the Munchkin. It's going to return a JSON object similar to this one, and we need to have the name of the key with the value lollipop. So that's all. And you can test this one out, so you can fire up your Python interactive shell, create a variable, and then do the solution part for the Munchkin objective. I'm not even sure what the lever is requiring you return an array similar to this one. Add the string Munchkin's rules front of the array. Okay, this is probably easier. But again, we want to be nice. So here's the code. And again, just to show you, I kept the upper part and just added my code here. So first, we are just going to iterate through all the lollipops and collect them. That's easy, right? We're just going to go by the indices of the lollipops, pick them up. But the challenge is not done at this point. We're going to be in this position after our loop finishes and we pick up all the lollipops. So we need to still move to the left, move up, and answer the Munchkin's question. In this case, we're going to be standing here. We're going to be able to, from this cell, answer the question of the Munchkin at all times. So actually I realized that this should work always, and then it's going to, because I wasn't sure if the Munchkin will be at the right position, but we're standing right here. And then we're going to get this and just look for the value lollipop, and then return the key with the Munchkin answer. And that's it. Afterwards we can move up. Now here I realized that I should have gotten out from the loop, but that would be one additional line, and I really need all the lines here. So let's run it. And later I might add as a bonus video the alternative solution where you pull the lever and make the Munchkin fall into the pit. But we'll see. There's gonna be a bonus level after this that I'm going to skip, because this is really about getting the objective done. Okay, answer the question. You probably haven't seen, but when we answer the Munchkin question, the cell under the Munchkin changed from red to green. That signifies that now it's a friendly Munchkin. You won the game. Click the sign for optional bonus levels, and it says levels. I'm not sure how many are there, but there's definitely a level 9 here. And I'm gonna skip this one because this is a ton of fun though, but I would like to just get my hints. So we have now the achievement, elf code Python, and I need to just jump here next to the elf and get those hints. Gosh, with skills like that, I'll bet we could help figure out what's really going on next door. The problem is, let me tell you what I know about SQL injection. I hear that having source code is going to follow the discovery dramatically changes one of the discovery process. I imagine it changes how you approach an assessment too. And you have the source code, API documentation becomes tremendously valuable, and there are 2 links in this hint. Who knows, maybe you will even find more than one vulnerability in the code. So that's a hint that you actually need to find more than one vulnerability in the code to exploit it. Alright, so let's take a look at the hint that we got. What was it? I really should start looking at the little notification messages, because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to find this one now. Anti-bugging shell code. I need to peek. Which one is this? SQL injection source. So this one. we have two links here, and you need to use both of these. One is for an npm package express session. The other one is for interacting with MySQL using Node.js. So this is a pure Node.js JavaScript client implementation for the MySQL protocol. All right, so for the objective part, we have the source code provided here. I'm not going to download that one now, and I will explain why. And then there's the website. So I think before end of the year, this timer was counting backwards. Now we're in January, so it just hit 0 and stopped counting. But the deadline was extended. Still, life happens, and I sort of ran out of time. This was the last challenge I attempted to solve, and I was able to get the objective, not in the intended way. And this is going to be the part where I ask you to pause the video. I'm going to put a card. Just try to check which direction is it. So there's going to be a card up here. Click on the link because I don't want to play the video here. It's from the movie Sneakers. It's a video clip of a movie clip channel. Watch the video clip. If you haven't watched Sneakers, the movie, then you really should. It's still very actual today. The concepts and the whole story, even though some of the tools that they use are dated, but the storyline is surprisingly something that you can apply even to our current ages and the difficulties that we're dealing with, but it's fictional. However, this scene contains so many important things, and it's a fantastic movie with lots of great actors in it. Robert Redford, Dan Aykroyd is there, Sidney Poitier, and a couple that I forgot now, but there's also who's the name of the actor who plays Cosmo? I forgot it. Ben Kingsley is also in there. So fantastic movie. Watch the scene. Stop this video. I'm gonna wait here. I'm gonna wait until you play the movie clip. I'm waiting, and once you play the movie clip, come back here and I will explain what I did. Go on. Click on the card. All right. So hopefully you're back after watching the video clip, and I sort of ran out of time. I'm recording this on a Friday. This is the last day for submissions, and I really wanted to just complete the whole thing for completeness sake. I don't really want to compete for the prices, and it's not something that is my end goal here. And I do promise that I will add an additional video for the actual solution, but I figured a way out, and I saw someone else doing an even more brute force method. They fired up a burp, the professional one, and sent intruder against this form here and brute forced it using the knowledge that we already have from the story itself. So if you just want to finish up the story, here's what I did, and it sort of worked. Rereading this whole thing, Jack plans to offer Santa a job position. Jack is running a hotel. I figured, well, it's probably gonna be a job, a typical job at a hotel, probably not a very nice one, so he will never make Santa manager for sure. And I tried a couple things like janitor, which is not the correct answer. So I tried a few and then started running out of ideas, so I used everyone's favorite tool. And what was the search term here that I used? List of jobs in a hotel. And I think this is the one that I clicked on. So I just went here And I started looking at some of these, like housekeeper. That sounds good. Let's try it out. Oops. Nope, not housekeeper. Porter. That's also something that probably would make Santa angry. Let's try waiter. And I was guessing that it's probably just a single word, but I went through a couple other ones, like bartender. Sounds already a bit cooler than what I would offer to someone. So there's also server here. And as you can see, you can just keep on trying. There is no brute force protection here. And I was about to give up and I said, okay, well, I guess I will just solve the challenge properly. When I saw the last list here, concierge, okay, maybe, no, not the one. But then my eyes just lit through this and I was like, oh, a clerk, interesting. And that's actually the solution for this challenge. We're also getting a narrative unlock here. Now I do promise when I'm done recording this video and the next one, maybe after the bonus fund for Log4j, I will circle back, solve the challenge properly. I'm more or less halfway through, so I identified a vulnerability that allows you to bypass authentication. I found vulnerable endpoint on the application that is vulnerable to SQL injection. I have a primitive payload to prove that there's SQL injection on there. I need to develop the payload still, so but I was running out of ideas, so this video is going to stop over here and then we will pick it up from this point. We have the Frost Tower website checkup done, sort of, in a sneakers way, and this unlocked, I think, 2 additional lines here. Yeah, so though we find unlikely allies, trolls within Jack's own command, doubting Frost and searching. Well, we saw signs of this, like the troll. I can remember the name of the troll in the restroom was kind of doubting Frost and searching motive, questioning his dark demands. So something is going on with this Jack figure here. But we're going to figure out that one in the next video, which will be a sort of terminal challenge and then some FPGA programming. But I'm going to stop this video now. And by the time you're going to watch these, probably we have multiple write-ups already released. So after submitting my solutions and after the deadline, I will add that video when I'm going to properly solve the challenge. So I do promise that even if I need to get some help, and I already got some hints and pointers, because for me this was the toughest challenge to solve and I spent quite some time on it. Still not correct yet, but I do promise that eventually I'm going to upload a video, show you how to do the challenge properly. So right now this video is done. Next one is going to be the last objective.